just did right there was an open bolt Benelli reload. You may not have noticed I did not press my carrier release button. That is because I don't have one. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, so how is it that he was able to release the bolt without a carrier release button? Well, that's what we're here to show you how to do. But before we do that, a couple safety things. Before trying this technique out, if we're going to be practicing at home, we need to make sure we're using dummy rounds. We do not want to be doing this with live rounds at home. If all you have is live rounds, make sure that you're doing it on a live fire range. And regardless of live fire or dummy rounds, make sure that you got a safe backstop and that nobody's downrange. So now that we've got the safety out of the way, let's go ahead and demonstrate exactly how this is going to be done. First, I'm going to do it with just a single round so that you can get the concept down and understand what's going on with the gun. Once I shoot the gun to the open bolt and the bolt is locked back, I'll come down and I'll grab a round. And just like I always would have to do, I'm going to put the round in the ejection port. Now, my fingers are already in the correct position to do what's required next, which is to push down on that round. Now, you'll hear a metallic click, but we don't really need to listen for that. It's just for the demonstration purposes in this case. So once we hear that click, what's happened is the carrier release is now disengaged. So what I'm going to do is remove my fingers from that ejection port. Notice that the bolt came forward automatically, but sometimes the bolt will remain locked to the rear once you take your fingers out. Not a big deal. All you do is you push up on the carrier, right, if that ever happens, and the bolt comes forward automatically. Exactly, it would look exactly like loading a Remington 1100. So we'll demonstrate this one more time, step by step, this time using 4 rounds off the belt, weak-handed. Right, now understand that you can do this weak-handed or strong-handed, whatever you prefer. I simply prefer to go weak-handed. So let's go ahead and do that now. Fire the gun to the open bolt, come to the belt, grab my 4 rounds, just like I always would. Right? I put the first round in there, fingers are in position, push down on the round, take the fingers out of the way. This time though, notice the bolt stayed to the rear. Not a big deal. Come up in under the carrier. As soon as I touch the carrier, the bolt comes forward. I load my remaining 3 rounds, and I go ahead and finish the stage. Now, if you were to lose your carrier release button in the middle of the stage and you didn't know how to do this, you'd be pretty much done, right? DNF. You just took a big hit for the match. This technique is going to allow you to go ahead and continue, and you're also going to find that this technique may be even quicker than going to the carrier release button because it's eliminating that step. You're really not adding much more to what you got to do by putting that round in there. So what we'll now try to do is demonstrate this at normal speed, right? Keep in mind, I'm not Robbie Johnson, right? I just want to make sure that I get that first round in there quickly. I'm not so concerned with getting the rounds in the magazine too fast. Let's go ahead and see how this would work at normal speed. All right, as you saw, looked pretty decent. I could have been a little bit better, but it was actually pretty quick anyway. I never had to go to that carrier release button, putting that round in there. I'm always fumbling getting the round in the ejection port, whether I'm dropping it in there, placing it in there, or pushing it down in there. The hardest part is just getting it in there quickly, right? Keep calm, and that should try to, help overcome that. Once it's in there though, your fingers are already in the right spot. All you're doing is just pushing down and then taking them out of the way. Not a big deal. So once you learn how to do this, you'll see it's not hard to learn at all. You're going to notice, hey, now I got a technique to fall back on, my butt never breaks, and I may have a technique that's even quicker than what I've been doing before. So go ahead and give it a try, right? Like it or not, I mean, it's something that you might want to try out. Go ahead and see how it works for you. For me, it works pretty good.